I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank everybody for coming and good morning.
Good morning.
And move to approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Approval of the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Approval of claims for payment.
I'll make a motion to approve claims for payment.
We'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Next on it was the Wellness Committee. And Deanna?
I'm the representative. So, and Ron and Michelle. Anyway, here, I thought you guys might like a kind of a chart Excel spreadsheet of comparisons there, so got that for you. So you can look that over. And as always, you know, we feel the costs are justified by problems being caught early and also by the discounts that the providers give us by doing it as a group thing. And the general trend these days in the medical insurance world is for wellness. You know, and if the employees went through their doctors to get these tests done, it'd be at a higher cost than what they're offering as a group. And it's also less time away from work then too. And a couple of notes from last year, we did as a committee decide to change what Greenbelt Home Care is offering us because there was a few parts of that people weren't taking advantage of. So if people weren't taking advantage of it, we decided just to cut it out because what I'm talking about mostly is the Hemocolt test, and because we had to pay for the supplies to do that, but there wasn't that many that were taking advantage of that test, so we decided just to cut it out. And a few other little things, so that you'll see a change. Rachel had told us at the meeting that their administrative fees would be just $20 per person rather than $45 because she thought she could get by with bringing less people too. The other thing that could throw the projected numbers off for 2014 is the shingles vaccine, because in the past the medical guideline is just to offer it for 60 years and older, and we understand that that guideline has changed, but we don't know exactly what it was. Rachel didn't get back to me before this meeting, so what we've projected for the shingles vaccine could be up, but that's something that can result in somebody being away from work for a long time, you know, if they do get the shingles. So I just want to tell you these are just projected numbers. We have no way of knowing, you know, who's going to participate and to what level until it happens. But I just took the numbers from last year and did the costs and kind of to give you kind of an idea of what we'd be looking at if we had the same participation as last year. You know, we've had a great program in the past, you know, and so we'd like to see, you know, keep that going. And healthy employees mean less sick leave, of course. We want to just kind of let you know too, the committee is also looking at ways that we can expound on our results. Okay, so now I have the results, now what? We're kind of bouncing around a lot of different ideas. It can be as little as, you know, food and exercise suggestions to financial stuff. Help me out, Ron, Michelle.
Are you talking about the computer program that goes along?
Well, the computer program, but you know, we had bounced around lunch and learn sessions to make overall healthier, happier people. So, that is something that's being looked at. You know, besides just getting these results to go on further, but we don't have anything pat and to present at this time. So I guess that's what I have. If you guys have anything to add, go ahead, or you have any questions?
Shingles is a costly vaccine.
It is.
But but you are correct. It does take work hours away. It'd be nice if And they were talking about at 50 years old.
Well, I heard two different numbers.
We were hearing two different numbers, 55 and 50.
55 and 50, and so that's why we left it in Rachel's court to look in
Get back, and
with
she hasn't.
her doctor, and I hadn't heard back from her before this meeting, so.
Yeah, I think that we want to, as a group, also try to promote, to get people interactive in this. Even thought of sending, you know, reminders more than what we have in the past, maybe get a little creative and offer a prize for something. We don't know what we can do yet at that point in time, but that won't be a cost to the county. It'll be something that department heads decide to do together to see if we can get some incentives out there to gather more people to come and participate to get these things done so they can find their results. Nobody likes to go get their blood drawn, but if we can get some more participants in, it might cost us more than our estimates if we get more people, but in the end, I think the cost savings for us doing it as a group, according to, or otherwise people going to their individual doctor, will coincide with a savings for us in the end. And like Deanna said, we want to have some like lunch and learns or something like that and inform our employees of the case of that we are a self-funded plan and get that education out there so they understand our situation and what we're in to try to save us what we can do and get them healthy and excited about going forward in those activities that will help them and us as the employer to have them healthier and happier at work. So.
And then in the long run, the insurance pool. So.
What's your suggestion to the employees that have been to the doctor like in the last 6 months and have had this workup already done? Do you still suggest that they come and do it again, or is that up? It's pretty strictly up to them, isn't it? Then,
Right.
I mean, totally, it is anyway. But
yeah.
in that case, is it just?
We've always encouraged people to try to kind of coincide that whole thing with this wellness program, because
Okay.
we can offer these tests, you know, for a reduced cost. I want to point out too that Ellsworth is giving us the same cost as they have in the last couple of years. You know, they're really trying to hold the line on costs for us. So,
Okay.
but as far as this year, I guess it would be your doctor decision whether you'd want to be involved again or if you've already had it in the last
Okay.
little while. But, you know, and we did serve, you know, 125 last year, so, you know, we always like to increase those numbers, but I hate to drop the ball on those, you know, that we have served, so.
It looks like our prices are going down because of the shot. I mean, that's the biggest factor in that.
The cut in, what
Yeah.
Greenbelt's doing too.
Okay,
is
so those
now-
two things.
But, you know, I just based, like I said, I based the shot prices on
Yeah.
the numbers that had it last year, and that shingles thing could,
Change as it moves
yes,
forward.
it could really increase because that's an expensive one, but.
Right.
But we did look at the cost and we tried to save as much as we could, you know, on administration fees and tests that weren't being utilized. So we tried everything we could to get the number, you know, down because we do know we have to, you know, watch that and we're mindful of that, so.
I'll make the motion that we go ahead and approve this plan that they have in front of us, and also with the flexibility of adding that shot to whatever information's brought back to them. So, do we need to set a date in our motion, or that'll just be?
In the past, it's been a committee decision, and
Okay.
it's always kind of, everything's kind of all pre-approved
Okay.
before we get to this point.
Sure.
So.
Well, then I'll just stop right there with the motion.
And I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? This wellness program goes to all the entities in
Yes.
our
That are in our
insurance pool.
so.
Anything else?
No. I think it's a good thing for the employees to get in and get done, if they haven't had it done at the doctor in the last year.
Anything you guys can do to help us get that participation level, you know, I mean, we got a fairly good participation, but there's always room for.
Line you up at the door and.
Yeah.
And thank you for what you guys do on that committee too. I mean,
Thanks.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved.
Thanks, ladies.
Next is electronic time and attendance program. This is something that we've been working on for at least 3 years, and we finally got to the table. James, you want to talk about it?
Absolutely, yeah. The electronic time and attendance program is essentially at its basic core an electronic timesheet and time clock. Like you mentioned before, we've been working for years to find a way to streamline and make the payroll process a little more efficient, especially with the larger departments, engineer and sheriff. They can take hours and sometimes even days to get the payroll put together. When you're trying to track the time and attendance of up to 30 employees, it can get very cumbersome. Getting that information back to the courthouse, sometimes they're coffee stained and crinkled and they get lost. And we've done the best we can for years, but now we have an opportunity to cost effectively take a leap forward and streamline this quite a bit. The program we're looking at putting in has customers ranging from Fortune 100 companies all the way down to local municipalities and counties, so it's a very robust program. The cost historically has been prohibitive because we would have to buy a lot of equipment and software, and we're now able to use a cloud-based program, which essentially means they're able to utilize their infrastructure at their corporate headquarters and then rent it out to companies like us who only have that 100 to 150 employees. So we don't really have to buy any software, we don't have to buy any servers. Got the cost down to, I think, a little under $5 per employee per month. When I ran the numbers in my own department, it was I was taking more time in my own labor to calculate just a 2-person payroll per pay period than I would spend in this program, just trying to track it. The modules we've got on the quote in front of you are, there are 3 modules. The first one is electronic time and attendance, clocking in and clocking out. The second module is accruals. No more hand calculating how many hours I've earned of sick and vacation and various leave types, and of course not manually calculating how many I used. When I go into the system, I can request a vacation day, and then my manager can approve it, and the system will automatically calculate that for me. And the third module is the Affordable Care Act protection. We've talked before that if we have an employee that's a part-time employee that works more than so many hours on average per year, we have to offer them benefits. And this module would warn us if we have any employee that's starting to reach that cap to let us know that we either need to reevaluate their position or offer them benefits. And I think Lance is fully aware, we've mentioned it between each other a few times, that the potential fines if we don't adhere to that standard could be very large for Hardin County just because of a mistake. So I think that's a very beneficial module, especially for the very low price point on it. It's a month-to-month agreement, if I remember correctly, so we can terminate at any time. We have to have at least 100 employees to participate in the cloud-based program, which isn't a problem for us. The timeline for the project is estimated around 90 days from the day we sign the contract until we're doing dual entry in the old way and the new way to make sure the numbers match up. We've got plenty of departments that are lining up to be volunteers on the program to see if they can get ahead of the curve and make sure that all of our employment guidelines and rules are meeting the needs. So I brought the contract before you today. I do recommend approval. And if you have any questions, feel free to fire away.
Thank you. You guys have any questions?
No. I mean, like Lance said, or like James said, Lance said, this is something we've been working on, I think, ever since we've been here to streamline this. And the price has just been a lot higher than this, so we've always gotten shot down because of the price. It's really lowered a lot for us, and the checks and balances in it now, and the savings in labor is just makes us almost pennies on the dollar. I mean, now that we move forward with this, and if everything works like it's supposed to. I do have one problem. For a guy that
The font's a little
almost
small.
needs glasses, he can barely read this.
I'm all about the fine print, yeah.
Can you print that any smaller without actually seeing it?
I will point out that when we first looked at this program, we were looking at between $50,000 and $100,000 per year, which was just astronomically unacceptable. And now for our entire employee base of, like I say, over 100 to 150 employees, depending on the season, we're looking at potentially under $5,000 per year. And I really think you're going to find that in labor savings from the staff level all the way up to the department head level.
Mhm.
I'll move to approve the electronic time and attendance program.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Also in this program, an employee could look up their record at any time and see where they're at for vacation,
Absolutely.
sick, and everything
They,
else.
They'll have 3 different modes of clocking in and clocking out. They can use a electronic time clock, which they walk by and use their existing security fob or ID card and swipe in. They can get on the website and clock in and clock out, or they can use a smartphone. The biggest concern about the smartphone is if I clock in from my house, and you're paying me from my house, but it will GPS locate when you use your phone where you clocked in at, so we'll be able to maintain, especially those mobile employees, and maintain their clock-ins and clock-out locations. But for the accruals, yeah, any employee at any time can log into the website and see not only their current and past timesheets, but they can also submit and check the status of their vacation requests and their leave requests, and they can also check the status of their leave bank, how many hours they have in each category.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, I'll have to, we went to the electronic time in my previous job, and there was a transition period, so everybody needs to be aware of that. You know, it takes a little time to get used to the changes, but in the long run, it was worth it.
Excellent.
Anything else? No other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is a change of status.
I'll make a motion to approve the change of status for Jamie Klaus. This is a discharge, ending employment 9/21/14.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Ineligibility homestead and military credits disallowed for 2014 and 15.
Looks like we have 2 over in front of us. I'll do the first one here. Homestead military credits to be allowed and disallowed payable 2015, 2016. I'll make that motion on that one.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And then the second one is payable, homestead military credits to be allowed and disallowed payable 2016 and 2017 as printed on the paper in front of me.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Utility permits, secondary roads, I have 1. It's permit 9/24/14.
I'll make a motion to approve the utility permit application by the Heart of Iowa for the purpose of placing underground cable on the north side of D35 between addresses 33791 and 33989, located in section 27, Clay Township.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Approval of the final pay voucher for project HMA resurfacing project number STPS CO 4268-5E-42.
That's D41 HMA from last year. It's the final payment voucher. There's a 3% retainage. And we keep that until we're audited and closed out and good. And so the project has been approved and audited out through the DOT.
So can we keep it?
97% of it.
I'll make a motion to approve that final payment.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Anything else secondary roads?
Speaking of D41, we've got the spray truck, so we're gonna try calcium chloride on those shoulders, probably early next week. So those are new shoulders, they're still in really good shape, you know, there's no rutting and stuff on them. So we're gonna go ahead and get going on that program. And then we're gonna start tearing the landfill road up, for your information.
Yes.
Sam's went through and scarified it. And we'll probably put some more rock and the chloride and get some base stabilization going there.
Okay. I had somebody stop in on 200th Street. If you can send somebody out there to take a look at that. It's muddy. They're near that fish.
It's a new site going up out there, and evidently there's some mud. Could be some mud or something up on the road or something, so it'd be good to go out and just take a look at it and see if we're
Where exactly are you talking?
right by the, oh, what the heck is that address?
It's 200th Street, but I don't know if it's north or south of D41 up there.
I can find out for you after the meeting
Okay.
exactly where
Yeah.
that site's at.
Work request maybe?
Here we go. I didn't have time. It was just before the meeting.
Any other business?
That's a really good point, though.
Hearing none, I'll ask for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.